What up out there, gang, man? It's your boy Big Rob again, and welcome back to Big Rob Reacts. I got a special one. I had to get into this motherfucker. But and this Tay Savage, Chicago's Trigger Happy John Wick. I know a little bit about Tay. I'll get into his shit too. But you know what I'm saying? I had to see it from these people's perspective. And I hope y'all enjoy the video. But y'all got three things to do before I start this motherfucker. That's like, comment, and subscribe, man. And we're gonna get into it, bro. I ain't finna hold nobody. Cause I know y'all don't wanna be held. Let's go.
People was comparing Tay Savage, 051 Melly, and King Von. They getting that, all right, who was the most savage? I gotta give it to Tay, because out of the other two people, ain't none of them, none of them came through like that.
There was a green beam on my chest, folks. I just so happened to look to my left, folks. I'm looking a whole nother way, standing on the block with him. I look to my left. On BD Tay got a green beam on my chest, folks. Like he got a green beam on my chest and he playing with me. He like, I look over his eye, he doing this. Oh, BD, he like, got the green.
Damn. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Excuse me, y'all. Tay Savage was beefing with him or he was playing with him? Okay. I heard they say Tay Savage a motherfucker too. But you playing with a nigga with a beam on their chest? God damn. They playing a whole different type of plan, bro. You heard me?
Green beam on my chest. Tay Savage, don't believe. I swear to God, never said no words. I'm just mouth open like.
John Wick is hardcore, bro. John Wick is stone cold. And I'm not over here trying to incriminate Tay. I know at all. But
nigga, that's what you
let's
doing.
just deal with what we know. Jay Maine and them shot at him first, right?
Yeah.
And he got back, right?
Right.
All right. We know that he got into an altercation with Jay Maine Peoples at a club. We know the end result was a shootout.
This
right?
nigga is way from New York. You was the son of a rat, and you damn like what the and what happened to him? Paparazzi post, like what the fuck? But this nigga always in Chicago business. Like he always talking and praising shit. You ain't. I don't know. Somebody get in the comments and tell me about this nigga here, man. Like, was he really around these niggas like that? He had like he know everything about everything.
Right? Which means he ain't scared to die.
Chicago streets are flooded with steppers, but some names stand above the rest. And Tay Savage, also known as the Chirac Bully, is one of those names. His rep in the streets of Chicago is heavy. When people hear it, they know not to play. Tay Savage earned his status the hard way, bullying and robbing gangsters all over the city, taking whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. People even started calling him John Wick for how relentless and precise he was with his revenge. Y'all call him Tay Savage, but to some, he's John Wick. His track record is wild. Tay's been stabbed, shot at, and somehow walked away from multiple attempted murders. He's even been linked to 2 separate murder cases that many believe he's responsible for. Some people even put him in the same conversation as King Von, saying he was the original before Von came up. But Tay didn't always live this savage life. His real name is Dwayne Timberlake. He came from a solid background growing up, and things were normal for a while. But it wasn't long before the street started calling, and Tay found himself getting caught up. His dad was locked up for most of Tay's early years, and when he finally
Nigga
came
was
home,
big.
Tay was 12. The time without his pops left a void, and his mom ended up sending him to live with his grandparents in an
Okay, but realistically,
Come on with this shit.
wait, why is there an ad?
Bullshit. Shut up.
attempt to straighten him out. At first, Tay was cool, didn't cause trouble. But as he hit his teenage years, the pull of the streets was too strong to ignore. His family saw the change in him and tried to step in. His grandfather would sit him down, talk to him, tell him to focus on his future. But it didn't take long before Tay was all in on the street life. It wasn't just something he watched. It became him. By the time he was 14, Tay had fully jumped off the porch. He started small, running with the older guys, stealing cars, getting into high-speed chases with the cops. But Tay's hunger for more quickly grew. By 2012, his name was buzzing all over the streets, and not for good reasons. He got the nickname Chirac Bully because he didn't care who you were. If you were in his way, he was going through you. Tay wasn't out there picking on the weak. He was about whatever, whenever. That's why the streets feared him.
See, that's what I like. I don't like niggas who prey on weak niggas. You know this nigga scary, and you know he ain't on that with you. Why you study fucking with that dude, bro? And I like, and then you know, if a nigga know another nigga got a rep in the streets, nigga don't give a fuck about your rep, nigga. This it's up with whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do like. That's what I hear about him. You know what I'm saying?
Tay had a thing for guns. He wasn't afraid to pull the trigger, especially when it came to defending or repping his gang, Welch World. To him, street life was natural. It ran through his blood. But as every street soldier knows, there's always someone else willing to step up. If you go at someone, they're coming back at you. Tay wasn't the type to back down. He handled his business, and if anyone tried to test him, they regretted it. By 2011, Tay was in deep. His name was ringing out as a savage,
Oh, he was
and his street
T-Roy.
cred was solidified.
Okay.
He caught 2 attempted murder charges that year, but as expected, he beat both. Still, instead of cooling down, Tay was more fired up than ever. The hunger for the streets never left him. He didn't run from danger. He chased it. Then came May 13, 2010, Tay's mom's birthday. Tay was out with his homies, just another day in the mix, when things turned left. Words were exchanged, and before they knew it, shots rang out. Tay caught 2 bullets, one in his stomach and one in his arm. He went into shock, fading in and out of consciousness as they rushed him to the hospital. The situation was serious, but Tay pulled through. But while Tay was fighting for his life in the hospital, tragedy struck. 2 days later, on May 15, 2010, Tay's best friend, Anthony Ray Welch, was shot and
Oh, they fucked over him. Damn, that's the nigga he be talking about. So that means that's when they started calling the neighborhood like Welch World, right? Y'all let me know in the comments. They started calling it Welch World after he got killed. Okay.
that loss hit Tay hard. It flipped a switch inside him. He wasn't just about surviving anymore.
Man, Tay Savage short in the motherfucker, and you could tell how short T-Roy was. Nigga down there midget with big pistols. You heard me? 30 balls under that motherfucker. Damn.
Now, it was about revenge. His heart turned cold, and he was ready to put in work for his brother. Losing Welch changed everything for Tay. His crew, a black disciple set known as So IY, became Welch World in honor of their fallen brother. From that point on, Tay wasn't just out here for the streets. He was on a mission to avenge his homie. As soon as he was out of the hospital and back on his feet, the streets started buzzing. Word spread that Tay Savage was hunting down the people behind Welch's death. According to the streets, Tay had 2 people in his sights, a woman named Cess and a dude named Neef. Cess was allegedly the driver during the hit on Welch, and Neef was thought to be the shooter. Both were linked to a rival gang, AV-037. The streets started talking, and things got real. On February 25th, 2011, Cess was getting out of her car on the 2600 block of East 75th Street when a shooter walked up and opened fire. Cess was shot and later died at the hospital. Tay's name was already getting tied to it, especially with the rumor that he was the one who killed her in retaliation for his friend's murder.
Damn.
Texas is growing, and the demand for skilled workers is needed.
Them niggas ruthless be jumping out shooting up females and shit. They ain't playing, man. That
A
shit
few
crazy.
months later, in April 2011, Neef was next. He was shot dead while sitting at a red light in his car. The shooter chased him down, unloading bullets until Neef was fatally hit. The streets were whispering about Tay being behind both murders. The rumors were loud, and soon the law started closing in. Tay was on parole at the time.
Damn.
So when his parole officer called him in, he didn't think anything of it. He showed up to comply, but when he got home, the police were waiting for him. They
Imagine
took him
a nigga going chasing shit down while they on papers. Nigga out here on hold on. God damn, man. Bad nigga didn't give a fuck. Nigga trying to smoke something. That's crazy, bro. On papers. You go chase a woman down, chase the female down, chase the nigga down, kill both of them on papers. Boy, nigga, that was crazy, motherfucker.
straight to the station, slapped him with charges for carjacking and armed robbery. Things got worse when they hit him with a murder charge for cess, and then another one for Neef. It looked like Tay was going down for both. People started flipping on him, giving up information to the cops. A snitch came forward, saying they saw Tay with his crew following Cess from a club and pulling up on her to finish the job. Word spread that Tay had walked up to Cess, stood over her and said, "I told you," before firing shots. But Tay wasn't going down without a fight. He had one of the best defense lawyers in Chicago, and over time, things started looking shaky for the prosecution. Eyewitnesses who initially identified him started changing their stories. They said the shooter was wearing a mask, which threw a wrench in the whole case. Slowly but surely, the evidence started to fall apart. Tay managed to beat both murder charges. However, the robbery and carjacking case still hung over his head. Authorities had picked up his baby moms and 3 homies, trying to tie him to witness tampering. With everything escalating, Tay's lawyer advised him to take a plea deal. Tay pled guilty to the robbery and carjacking charges and got sentenced to 20 years.
Damn.
But good behavior and his decision to earn his GED while locked up shortened his sentence. He ended up serving just under 9 years, getting released on March 18, 2022. While in prison, Tay wasn't quiet. He took to Instagram to expose one of the victims in his robbery case.
Damn, gang, why you bother give me that 20 years like that? Got that paperwork too. Oh, man.
Devontae Scott, who he accused of snitching. Scott was the brother of rapper C. Honcho, and Tay was vocal about how Scott had helped get him locked up. Tay posted the paperwork to prove it, calling out Scott for folding when it counted. Tay Savage never shied away from his past. He made sure everyone knew the battles he fought, in both the streets and the courtroom. Even after nearly a decade behind bars, Tay was ready for a new chapter. In prison, he came across a documentary about his own life, and something clicked. Instead of being defined by his violent past, Tay decided to flip the narrative. Since his release, Tay's been making moves in the rap game, using his platform to share his story. The time behind bars gave him space to think, and now he's determined to use his experiences for something bigger. He's even squashed the beef with his old enemy, Jay Maine, a dude he used to shoot at. Now they're linking up for interviews and talking about the next steps in their journey.
I got Tay Savage, AKA Chicago's John Wick, with me, bro. It do hit different. It's amazing that we both sitting here right here in these seats together. Let's start there. The world knows about us and our feud before, in the past, years and years ago, bro. So it's good to see us 2 black men and be able to come together and make some money and do different things, bro. So we really putting on for the city of Chicago.
Tay Savage's evolution from street soldier to artist is a real testament to growth. He's shown that even the most savage can change. Let's hope Tay continues on this path, making music that speaks to his past while building toward a brighter future.
Big John Wick, man. Yeah, Tay was about that life. And then what I do like about him, he humble. Like I started peeping how he move. I like how he move too. The nigga humble. He ain't no rah nigga running around acting like he this and that. He don't brag about what he did to them people, if he did that allegedly. And I know that's that girl Blazing some mama that he supposed to been did that too. But yeah, that nigga like he a real smooth nigga with it. It was just like Von. Von, you couldn't tell, but he was vocal about what he was doing. He was bragging about them bodies and shit. That nigga Whatever he did, if he did do it, whatever, he don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know he was into that type of shit because he seems so cool. But yeah, I like that one, man. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. That's the only 3 things y'all got to do for I end this video. It's your boy Big Rob, and it's Big Rob Reacts, man. And I'm out to the next video, baby.